3's Alec Lasham was at the fair last night, and he said once the skies opened up, he had water up to his ankles. And speaking of that severe weather, I know last night was not the only night of severe weather that you've been tracking, Sarah.
Yeah, no, we got another round of it possible here as we come into the evening, and that does include for areas of the Twin Cities. In fact, a tornado watch in effect for some areas. We will, of course, hit on that in just a moment, but I thought we'd take a peek at all of the tornado confirmations. Now, most of them were EF zeros, which means that they were just brief touchdowns for some of them just a quick spin up. But again, this was from last night. 5 of them in places like Apple Valley, in Egan, as well as West St. Paul. So yeah, it was quite the busy evening. And tonight things are a little calmer, at least in our neck of the woods. Here we are in Rochester, where things looking pretty nice, but if you were to take a step outside right now, you feel it. It is humid outside, still quite warm. We still have plenty of fuel left here as we come into the rest of the evening and ultimately the overnight. But Storm Tracker 3 here showing the activity that is starting to enter into the Twin Cities as we speak. I am very happy to say that none of this showing severe storms or anything quite like that as of now. However, not too long ago, and further to the west, we did see some tornado warnings popping. So just keeping an eye on that. And of course, as it continues to make its way to the east, starting to develop some activity further to the south. And that's what I'll be watching very closely here as we go through the next couple hours as it starts to enter into our area. Places like Freeborn County, Steele County starting to experience some of those pop-ups as we speak. This is a loop of just over the last hour, so you can see how quickly it's beginning to develop. And in those particular areas falling under the level 2 risk for severe weather, that is a slight risk. And yes, that does mean that the chances are a little higher than for the rest of us here in the green, looking at more of a chance for isolated severity. But there is still a chance, and if these storms do go severe, they bring the threat of large hail, some damaging gusts, and yes, there's even a small chance that we could see a tornado pop through. Surface map here just kind of showing what's fueling this fire here as we've gone through the day. Things got warmer, things got humid. You could almost feel it if you were outside throughout most of the day, just steadily rising when it came to the humidity and the warmth, of course. Warm front moving through, and now this right here going to acting like the trigger for a lot of these storms, just pushing all this activity. Right now, a bit of a stall, but as it starts to pick back up again, that's when we start to see a lot of this make its way our way. I mentioned the tornado watch currently in effect for Goodhue and Steele counties. This goes until midnight tonight. Again, not expecting it to cover any more of our counties. And in fact, a lot of these over to the west have actually been allowed to expire. That is some good news, but it does tell you we're watching quite a few things here over the next couple hours. Sky Tracker 3 here showing exactly where that front is just by the direction of the winds. And when that does start to push our way, again, we're seeing some more isolated chances for some severe storms as we head into the overnight hours. Luckily, this is about when that tornado watch expires. So keeping an eye on that, but I believe that we'll be all right for at least the rest of the evening hours. Here we are around 1 a.m. still seeing some activity, very spread out when it does come to this activity. It's mainly more of a north event, but we still see the chances. And as we head into 3 a.m., a lot of that finally starts to make its way out. We do see some lingering chances for rain here as we do come into our Monday morning. You can see more on the shower side, less of those yellows and oranges. Most of the cloud cover and even the chances for rain do start to leave as we head into later afternoon and ultimately into the evenings. Currently, it's still warm outside, and I mentioned the dew points quite high. Most all of us in the lower 70s when it comes to these dew points. It is going to be 65 tonight, so a bit of a warmer start for tomorrow brings that chance for the scattered showers possible in our Monday morning, but give it some time, the clouds will begin to move away. And here on the 7-day forecast where the weekend is always in view, temperatures near 80 again tomorrow, then we get a little cooler for Tuesday, but look at all that sunshine we're going to be getting. It is going to be a sunny stretch. Could probably use some of that rain. Alex.
The Minnesota